Hello and welcome to In Depth. I'm Tina Jha. In our budget series, today we focus on the railways sector. When the NDA government came to power in 2014, the Indian railways faced three key challenges: safety, efficiency, and infrastructure development. Now, more than 4.5 years later, the government has, to a great extent, succeeded in living up to its promise of changing the way Indians travel on trains. Today, safety is the priority with the public transporter. According to the railways, there has been a 63% reduction in fatalities from 152 in 2013-14 to just 57 in 2017-18. Massive upgradation has been carried out. Multiple new projects have been undertaken and high-speed corridors have been initiated. Besides, the government has successfully managed to increase rail connectivity in the northeast. Today's edition of In Depth brings an overview of the railway sector today, the ambitious projects of the Modi government and the challenges that remain in making Indian railways a world-class facility. The Indian Railways is among the world's largest rail networks, ideal for long-distance travel and movement of bulk commodities, apart from being an energy-efficient and economic mode of conveyance and transport. The sector is growing at a healthy rate, with various budgets giving shape to the government's initiatives to boost this particular sector.
The Indian Railways is among the world's largest rail networks. It brings together people from the farthest corners of the country. It facilitates business, sightseeing, pilgrimage and education. The Indian Railways has been an integrating force for over 155 years. From a modest beginning in 1853, when the first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane, covering 34 kilometers, Indian Railways have grown into a vast network of 7,349 stations. The railway network is spread over 1,15,000 kilometers with 12,617 passenger trains and 7,421 freight trains each day stations, plying 23 million travellers and 3 million tons of freight daily. India's railway network is recognized as one of the largest railway systems under a single management.
Planned 10 years back, but there was no progress. In these 4 years, credit goes to our railway ministers. Okay, now there is a focused area, and I think the progress is much faster than earlier years. Besides that, recently, last 2 years, to connect capital, rapid rail, that organization has taken place. So Meerut, Khurja, Rewari, Alwar are connected to Delhi. There is a pressure on Delhi. Metro is also doing quite well, but we can connect to that. Not only all metropolitan, there is a focus on metro system. I think almost 15 cities we are. That is also with the help of some corporate world plus some Ministry of Railway. There has been doubling of lines also. Now, these are the area where we have expanded. Besides that, there is emphasis on railway safety.
The railway network is also ideal for long-distance movement of bulk commodities. It is also energy efficient and economical. Indian Railways was the preferred carrier of automobiles in the country, with loading from automobiles traffic growing 16% in 2017 and 18. The government has focused on investing on railway infrastructure by making investor-friendly policies. It has moved quickly to enable foreign direct investment in railways to improve infrastructure for freight and high-speed trains. Indian Railways revenues increased at a compound annual growth rate of 9.66% in the decade ending 2018-19 to 1,950.41 crore rupees. Earnings from passenger business grew at a compound annual growth rate of 9.9% to reach 531.42 crore rupees in 2017 and 18. Freight revenue rose 9.83% to reach 1,278.22 crore rupees in 2017-18. India was among the top 20 exporters of railways globally as of 2017. India's exports through railways grew at CAGR of 27.05% during 2010 to 2017 to 21,347.52 lakh rupees. Exports of railways in 2018 stood at 19,570.97 lakh rupees.
After merger of budget, there has been the things have been quite streamlined because now the budget is controlled. So wherever there is a need, central government is also willingly to extend help financially or strategically. Niti Aayog, all these they are doing quite. So we can say as a central government as a team, because Railway Ministry is also part of the central government, Ministry of Finance. So they are working together in all these areas.
Foreign direct investment inflows into railways-related components from April 2000 to June 2018 stood at 64,770.36 lakh rupees. In December 2018, France-based Alstom announced plans to augment its coach production capacity in Sri City from 20 cars per month to 24 cars per month. Also, it will set up a new production line to increase capacity to 44 cars per month by 2019 end. In December 2018, the Prime Minister laid the foundation stone for the third phase of the Pune Metro. Other initiatives taken by the government are a high-speed rail corridor project between Mumbai and Nagpur. Indian Railways is planning to come out with a new export policy for railways. National Rail Plan, which will enable the country to integrate its rail network with other modes of transport and develop a multi-modal transportation network. New online vendor registration system has been launched by the Research Designs and Standards Organization, which is the research arm of Indian Railways, in order to have digital and transparent systems and procedures. Agreement with Government of Japan, under which Japan will help India in the implementation of Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail corridor, along with a financial assistance that would cover 81% of the total project cost. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
With the Lok Sabha elections just months away, the Narendra Modi government is trying to ensure that it lives up to its promise of changing the way Indians travel on trains. Under former Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu as well as the current Minister Piyush Goyal, the national transporter has been revamped in several ways. Many new trains are at the centre of Modi's ambitious project to transform the Indian Railways.
Indian Railways is the fourth largest railway network in the world. In size, scale and importance, its role in India's transport infrastructure and development is not static, but an ongoing process in the Modi-led NDA government scheme of things ever since it came to power in 2014. In the last 5 years, the NDA government has focused on long-term infrastructure building in railways. Busy routes have seen second, third and even fourth lines to enhance network capacity. Connectivity has been brought to the northeast through broad gauge conversion. Electrification got a major thrust, and for the first time, railways opened itself up to borrowing funds from outside. Compared to the previous UPA dispensation, the NDA government has taken some huge decisions. While the UPA government shied away from finalizing the Ahmedabad-Mumbai bullet train project, the NDA government lost no time in approving it. It even advanced the deadline by a year to 2022. Prime Minister Narendra Modi even took his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe to Ahmedabad in 2017 to lay the foundation stone for the project. The bullet train is expected to run at a top speed of 350 km per hour. It will cover the 508-kilometer Mumbai-Ahmedabad stretch in under 3 hours, beating the present travel time of 7 hours. The train will halt at 12 stations for 165 seconds each. The proposed corridor will start from Bandra Kurla in Mumbai and end near the Sabarmati railway station in Ahmedabad. 35 bullet trains will run when operation starts, with about 70 trips per day. The number is expected to go up to 105 trains by 2050. Over 1.6 crore people would travel in these trains.
Bullet train, you remember even UPA 1, the minister used to talk that will have bullet train, but this has taken shape only now, starting from Ahmedabad to Bombay, and we believe that by 2022 something will be. The work is very, the speed land acquire is already there, that agencies, training center in the Staff College Baroda, all these are on quite.
2018 saw the railways roll out India's fastest train, its first air-conditioned local train, its longest bridge and a diesel locomotive converted into electric. The railways is also ready to introduce high-speed trains, including 2 trains, Train 18 and Train 20, to replace Rajdhani and Shatabdi Express. India's fastest train, Train 18, is a 100% Make in India project, which is being manufactured by the Integral Coach Factory for around 97 crore rupees. It has touched top speed of 180 kilometers per hour. Train 18 will replace Shatabdi trains and will initially run from Delhi to Varanasi. Its actual date of commissioning is yet to be finalized. Train 20 will take the place of Rajdhani trains by 2020.
Train 18 or such kind of, you remember the last year, that has been indigenously developed Train 18 by ICF, and it has been quite successful, reports are there. And we believe that all Shatabdi, this train will be introduced and our speed will be 15 to 20% more. Even Banaras is likely to be. So every day there is a effort that more and more Train 18 should be introduced. So I think the 4 years has been quite satisfactory.
The railways in another first is set to come up with an elliptical 40-kilometer track between Jaipur and Phulera at a cost of around 4 billion rupees. Once complete, it will put India in a league of countries, including the United States, Germany, China and Australia, that have dedicated tracks for train trials. Another achievement for the railways is the first air-conditioned local trains from Mumbai suburban railways with automatic doors. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Pragmatic development of the railway network has been on the priority list of the NDA government, and with the upcoming budget 2019, the railways is likely to line up its highest ever capital expenditure of 1.65 to 1.7 trillion rupees. The NDA government is of the opinion that there should be no shortage of funds for infrastructure works. The NDA government has opened the railways for the first time to borrowing funds from outside. During UPA 2, railways spent 2.3 lakh crore rupees on capital works. The present NDA government has so far spent 3.82 lakh crore rupees on infrastructure creation. Around 9,500 kilometers of broad gauge lines have been commissioned between 2014 and March 2018. Replacement and maintenance of old tracks has taken front seat for the present government.
One of the biggest challenges for the railways is to keep fares low. You must remember that road transport is also a competitor to the railways, and railways also go into places where road transport is very expensive. So the challenge for the railways is to run unprofitable routes, and also where there is traffic, it should not charge very high fares because the common man can't bear it. And further, today the public wants trains to be like airports and airlines. So the railways have the challenge of low fares better service, more trains, faster trains.
However, revenue generation remains a problem area. Railways may have found various sources of funding, but earning money to run and make a profit remains a huge problem in the face of mounting expenses. When it comes to a common man who largely travels in unreserved coaches, there are many grey areas which need the railway's attention. Tardy expansion and augmentation of railways network continue to adversely impact train speed, revenue and passenger safety. The slow progress of railway projects is another major issue of concern for the Indian Railways. Another area that requires immediate attention is passenger safety and security. A separate safety fund, Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh, worth 1.19 trillion rupees has been created for undertaking various safety works. There has been a consistent focus on sustainability as well. Indian Railways is undertaking many initiatives like procuring cheaper power, improving efficiency of power utilization, stepping up its renewable energy capacity, and developing innovative energy efficient solutions and techniques for reducing annual energy consumption and expenditure.
This rapid rail, this should be as earliest as possible. That will minimize burden on metros. Second area, what I expect, there is a complaint most of the time of cleanliness. We have already started bio toilets, vacuum toilets like airlines we are planning, so more and more. But most of that, I think that first priority should be the availability of reservation.
Despite all the hurdles, Indian Railways continues to be one of the most favourable mode of transport. Here are some of the initiatives taken by the Indian Railways in the last 5 years. Elimination of unmanned level crossings, use of technology, online monitoring of rolling stock and switch over to German technology LHB coaches for safety of railway passengers. Boosting Make in India by indigenous manufacturing of semi-high speed, self-propelled Train 18 with ultra-modern features. Push to capacity augmentation by commissioning strategic projects like dedicated freight corridors. India's longest railroad bridge connecting Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Speedy and smooth passenger service via improved coaches and trains, UTS mobile app, Vikalp scheme and digital transactions for online ticket reservations. Railways also started bio toilets, Clean My Coach SMS services, Coach Mitra initiatives for cleanliness in trains and railway stations. 65 stations across zonal railways have been beautified under Station Beautification Initiative by using local art form, painting style and local themes. Use of robotics and Industry 4 technologies in production units. Mission Raftar to speed up, contribute and participate in India's growth. Switching to 100% LED lights for brighter and energy efficient railways. Introduction of Vista Doom coaches to promote tourism. Besides, railways have also provided free Wi-Fi services at more than 675 stations across the country, and it plans to extend this service to over 6,000 more stations. With inputs from Astha Kulshresht, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
One of the innovations that the NDA government has brought about is scrapping the railway budget and making it part of the general budget. Another significant step to enable faster transportation of goods is the dedicated freight corridor project. At present, more than 3 million tons of freight is transported through rail tracks every day. Our next report will tell you all about special freight corridors and how they will provide a big impetus to the Indian rail network.
The Indian Railways carries 23 million passengers on 12,000 passenger trains every day. It has 7,000 freight trains that transport 3 million tons of goods every day. Railways generates most of its freight revenue by transporting coal, cement, food grains, iron and steel.
It expects to earn nearly 1,22,000 crore rupees from its freight traffic in financial year 2018-19. Since 2014, various NDA budgets have contributed to the growth of freight traffic. Indian Railways is building two world-class freight corridors, Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor and Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. These are freight-only railway lines to move goods between industrial heartlands in the north and ports on the eastern and western coasts. A third freight corridor between Kharagpur and Vijayawada sections is also in the pipeline. These freight corridors will reduce cost and allow faster transportation. It will also open new avenues for investment in the form of industrial corridors and logistic parks along these routes. The focus has been to help freight trains on Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation Limited attain speeds of 100 km per hour as against the current top speed of 75 km per hour. Freight corridor envisages long-haul operations with trading loads to increase from 5,000 to 15,000 tons, and container capacity will go up to 400 per train.
Another area is DFCCI, that Dedicated Freight Corridor. We planned 10 years back, but there was no progress. In these 4 years, credit goes to our railway ministers. Okay, now there is a focused area, and I think the progress is much faster than earlier years.
The Western Dedicated Freight Corridor will cover 1,504 kilometers from Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust near Navi Mumbai to Dadri in Uttar Pradesh, traversing through Vadodara, Ahmedabad, Palanpur, Phulera and Rewari. The Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor covers 1,856 kilometers from Ludhiana in Punjab to Dankuni near Kolkata in West Bengal and will travel through Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Jharkhand. Passing through 9 states and 60 districts, the Dedicated Freight Corridor project will have 48 stations and junctions along the Western DFC and 58 on the Eastern DFC. Till 30th November 2018, the railways completed the 194-kilometer section from Bhadan to Khurja in Uttar Pradesh of the Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor. In the western segment, the railways has completed 306-kilometer section between Madar in Ajmer in Rajasthan and Kishangarh in Rewari in Haryana. The railways is hopeful that the entire dedicated freight corridor will be fully electrified by its commissioning in March 2020.
Till the dedicated freight corridor comes, we have to speed up. Now, we should not forget, now there is a competition of passenger traffic with airlines. Udan scheme is already by this government only. So more and more cities are being connected. So if we have we have to satisfy our passengers, the minimum time is taken. So we have to focus on speed also. Plus the freights. Now sending whether it is medicine or coal or cement or food grains from one point to another point, if we increase speed of freight, automatically that will affect our entire economy and the most environment friendly transport.
In its preliminary engineering cum traffic survey reports of these 3 corridors, Railways had said that the corridors will run parallel to the existing alignment and will be designed in such a way that there were no surface crossing or rail flyovers. Once completed, the dedicated freight corridor project will complement the future of the Indian economy with increased number of freight trains in eastern and western sectors. Reports say the 3 corridors could account for a freight of 1,300 million tons by 2026-27. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
So that's it from us in today's edition of In Depth. You can also watch our episodes online on YouTube and Twitter and get back to us with your feedback and suggestions. Thanks for your time.